Hello and welcome to the post-match live show. I'm Vaibhav Tripathi, your host for this particular show, and joining me is Snehashish Mukherjee and Shamik Chakravarti. And yesterday, Kolkata Knight Riders, former champions, broke their losing streak. Today, Mumbai Indians did that. Four matches they went on to lose the last four matches, and this match, their backs were was against the wall, and pressure was on players. They took some bold calls. They rested Deepak Chair. Shardul Thakur was benched. They made some changes, and changes worked in their favor. Of course, there was a start at the starting trouble. The top order collapsed, but then came in a brilliant innings from Tilak Verma, and he silenced his critics in style. At one point, it seemed like he's struggling, especially against Rashid Khan. The first 3 overs of Rashid Khan, he was struggling. But after the strategic timeout, the way he played, he took on the fast bowling and scored a brilliant innings that will be remembered for a very long time, especially given the way he started. And then, of course, with the ball, it was much anticipated when Jasprit Bumrah will take his first wicket, because till now he was wicketless. The talk was around Jasprit Bumrah. There was a pressure from outside when Jasprit Bumrah will take wickets, and today off from the first ball, it was a dream start for Mumbai Indians. Wicket of the first ball, that too Sai Sudarshan. We know how dangerous Sai Sudarshan can be, particularly at this venue where he scored a lot of runs. A dream start for Mumbai Indians with the ball, and then Ashwini Kumar, the way he bowled 4 wickets, playing his first game of the season. Krish Bhagat looked impressive in the 2 overs that he bowled. Mitchell Sander coming into this game, picking 2 important wickets between the in the middle overs. I think it was an overall a very comprehensive win. Mumbai 99 run margin has given them a big run rate boost. And we'll talk about this. I'll start with Shamikda. Shamikda, first thoughts on Tilak Verma's innings. At one point, as I said, 19 of 22, and from there on, I don't know what happened in that during the break, the strategic timeout. From there, he looked like a different player, and looked like the pitch is playing differently for him. Brilliant innings, because he silenced his critics. There was a lot of pressure on him that Tilak is not scoring runs. You have to replace him. He hasn't been at his best since the last season only, and today he silenced his critics.
Vaibhav, there were signs in the last game. He didn't get a chance to bat. He came towards the back end of Mumbai Indians innings in the game against Punjab Kings. But some shots he played, there were signs. You can pick. It's not always about runs. It's about how a batsman is striking the ball. And there were signs. And today, as you rightly said, there are two hubs. This innings clearly had two hubs. His last 23 balls, he scored 82 runs. 23 balls. Eventually, in the end, 45 balls, 101. So the way, and Akash Sharma, before that over, Akash Sharma was bowling brilliantly. He was beating even during
Ashok Sharma.
his sec. Huh?
Ashok Sharma.
Ashok Sharma, sorry. Ashok Sharma. I beg your pardon. Ashok Sharma, he even during his second spell, he was beating even Hardik Pandya and a couple of times Tilak for pace. But that over was the trigger. And it's not easy. He was bowling Ashok Sharma. He was bowling rapid. He was hitting the ball hard and and the way Tilak went berserk. And then last over was Prashit Krishna. And the last over was Prashit Krishna. Something expected happened. So, but brilliant innings, and that is why we have come up with this title, Jai Tilak for MI, because without that innings, and he saw divine intervention a few days ago, 2 3 days ago. He went to the Siddhi Vinayak temple in Dadar, and you can see Bappa has given his blessings.
It seems like that blessings of Mumbai Indian fans and blessings of Bappa has clearly worked for Mumbai.
Bappa has given him his blessings. It looks like that. 2 3 days back, he went to Siddhi Vinayak.
Definitely, and Snehashi, it's a big win considering that Rohit Sharma was not there, and they have rested their capped Indian players like Hardik Pandya in the last match. After the last match, he said we have to take some bold calls, and in this game, it was clearly evident at the toss when he said that we are making these many changes. At times, when you are not winning, you have to make changes, but there were wholesale changes. To bring Krish Bhagat, who has just joined the squad as a replacement player. Yes, he was there as a net bowler, but then he joined as a replacement player. Then to be playing a game where it sort of becomes a must-win encounter. He looked very impressive on his debut. Yes, he only bowled 2 overs, but 2 overs in the power play conceded just 10 runs. And then we also what Ashwini Kumar. I was discussing this same thing whenever MI matches used to happen in our Hindi live shows, that why they are not bringing an Ashwini Kumar. Ashwini Kumar on his debut took 4 wickets, wicket of the first ball, and
Yeah.
that bowler looks like whenever he comes to on to bowl, he looks like he's a wicket taker. He wants to be in action in the fold of things. Today, Hardik Pandya, Mumbai Indians made changes, made some bold calls, and it clearly worked in their favor.
Yes, absolutely. I think regarding the Ashwini Kumar point, as you mentioned, that on his debut he took 4 for 24 against KKR. I remember that
Against
one.
KKR, yes.
Yeah, against KKR, yes, and exact today the same figures, 4 for 24. But yes, it was very shocking not to see him getting games in a regular manner in this season, because he played I think around 8 or 9 games last season only. So I don't know what happened with the MI management earlier, but it is good that they have finally come to the conclusion that they need someone like Ashwini Kumar, and today it proved that the decision is right. But overall, I think the whole bowling unit performed together today. I think that worked for them. If you see, in the power play, they did the job. Fast ball wicket for Jasprit Bumrah. I think that lifted the whole team. I think whole team, whole MI fan base were waiting when Jasprit Bumrah will open his account. I think that fast ball wicket, lifted the mood, and especially when you know that GT is overly dependent on those top three batters. Shubman Gill, George Butler, and Sai Sudarshan. So when they managed to get those 3 wickets quickly, I think they knew that the game is almost done and dusted. 70% game is done and dusted. You needed some miracle innings like what Tilak Verma played for Mumbai. You need some that kind of a knock from someone like Glenn Phillips, or from Washington. So you cannot expect that kind of a knock, but you can expect a miraculous support. Then only it could have been happened. But otherwise, it was really difficult for GT to chase down this mammoth target. But I think as a whole unit, the calls that they took today, everything worked, and that is why MI managed to took this important 2 points. But overall, I think Tilak Verma was excellent. I think Mohit pointed it out in the pre-match show live that MI should also use Tilak Verma as a finisher, just the way India used him during the World Cup. Initially for India also, he was looking as a number 3 or number 4 option, but he was not scoring runs. But again, when he started to bat at number 6, he chipped in with important cameos, which worked in favor for India throughout the World Cup. And see today also, it's not easy in a T20 format when you are not opening or not batting in the top and scoring 100, that too 45 ball 100. But the way he batted in this, he just fulfilled the role. And one thing I want to mention, that I think I also talked to earlier also about the Namandhir role. Namandhir has played this at bat number 3 or number 4 role in every age group competition for the last 1 year. So I was very disappointed when Imai tried to use him as a finisher. I think they are not utilizing him. But for the last 2 games, I think finally they are utilizing him. And this move, swapping Namandhir with Tilak Verma, giving Tilak Verma the finisher role, ultimately that move has paid off today.
Yeah, definitely. I was coming to Namadnir only because Tilak obviously played a brilliant innings, a scintillating innings, nothing to take away from him. But there were wickets early on, like 3 wickets fell inside the power play, including the big wickets of informed Quinton de Kock, who scored a ton in the last game. Surya Kumar Yadav, yes, not runs ahead, but the way Surya Kumar Yadav started that flick of Kagiso Rabada, then that on drive, it gave you a glimpse of Surya's class, but then he also got out an indicator. Kagiso Rabada was brilliant with the new ball, but then came in Namandir. He soaked in all the pressure. At the other end, Tilak Verma was buying his time just because Namandir was scoring, was able to score those runs, and he was able to soak that pressure off. He was taking the pressure off Tilak Verma, who's senior pro at Mumbai Indians. Tilak Verma is senior to Namandir. So Tamandir looks a very organized player against pace, against spin, and more. I think at number 3 is where he should bat. I know Kyron Pollard has worked a lot since last year only to make him a finisher, him and Robin Mins as well. But Tamandir at number 3 gives you a lot more assurance than any other player at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. If you look at MI, the batting order, you will see that Surya Kumar Yadav has not been able to contribute with the bat as of now, as of yet. While on the other hand, Namandhir at number 3, number 4, he has been doing extremely well. He is giving you the kind of push, even the start if you need, even if your openers falter, he is the one who is coming in and taking charge of the entire innings. Yes, Tilak Verma's inning was outstanding. I think it was sensational the way it was 19 for 22 at one point and then he accelerated. It was brilliant, but also the support from the other end is also very important for an aggressor when he takes on the role of an aggressor. So Namandir's, I think 40 or 45 runs, extremely important. Yeah, probably it will get overshadowed because of the century that was scored, but it is not just in today's game, even in the previous one. I think it was against Punjab Kings. Too many matches we've been watching Punjab Kings. Yeah. So in the match versus Punjab Kings as well, he played an excellent role. And I don't want to see him as a finisher. I think he's doing his job perfectly. That's the perfect position for him. He should play where he's playing. And Tilak Verma should approach the game the way he has been approaching. This is the perfect batting order as of now, I think.
Shamik, there were a lot of talks about Hardik Pandya as well, and many questioned his leadership as well. Like he's not been able to carry forward the Rohit Sharma legacy last season. Last season they obviously qualified but before that in 2024 they struggled. So since Hardik Pandya has taken, Emma has lost majority of the matches. So pressure was on Hardik Pandya. Today he looked different. Today there was more energy. He looked more intense. He was animated as well, talking a lot more with the players, his bowlers. So Hardik Pandya looked a very different individual today. Yes, he didn't score runs with the bat. He struggled. It could have been 200 plus that total. Hardik ate a lot of balls and got dismissed without scoring at a good rate. But with the ball, he took the responsibility, took the new ball and got the important wicket of Josh Butler. So there was pressure and Hardik responded well instead.
Look, Vaibhav, this game, MI didn't win because of Hardik Pandya's captaincy. There is one and only one hero in this game, that is Tilak Verma. Without Tilak Verma's innings, first of all, Shubman Gill probably made a mistake by opting to bowl after winning the toss, because on pitch number 6, in the previous seven T20 matches at this venue, every time the team that batted first, they won. So he wanted to defy the record. That's okay. And the way they have been going, without that Tilak Verma's innings, Mumbai Indians would have scored around 150 or 160. So, and that was one. The difference on this page between 150 or 160 and 199, which is 200. So it is basically a heaven and hell difference. This is completely, it's a different ball game. When you are posting on this page 199, you have won the game. That is number one. Two positive for Hardik Pandya's captaincy. One, belatedly, it has dawned on him that Jasprit Bumrah should bowl with the new ball. This is not the Indian team, you have to keep in mind. This is not the Indian team. In Indian team, you have an Arshdeep Singh to bowl with the new ball. This is not. This is Mumbai Indians team. And here, Jasprit Bumrah should bowl as because Gujarat Titans batting lineup is top heavy, basically top 3 and or top 4. Mumbai Indians had to front load. It was common sense. They had to front load, and that is why Bumrah took the new ball and got the wicket of Sai Sudarshan with a very fast ball. And Bumrah will dismiss Sai Sudarshan any day. Of Sai Sudarshan has some technical shortcomings. The way he goes across his forward trigger, whether he plays it whenever he plays square of the pitch, irrespective of it is onside or offside, there would be a tendency to play the ball in the air. And this time, Jasprit Bumrah, Hardik I'll credit, because it was a clear plan was set for Sai Sudarshan. Specifically, that square point fielder was placed in that position, and when that is why you saw the celebrations, the way Bumrah and Hardik Pandya hugged each other. It was a clear case of a plan coming through. So the thing is that Bumrah will get Hardik all day long, every possible way, lock, stock, and barrel. But it was a clear plan. Apart from that, Hardik Pandya, this is not a game where the result was decided by captaincy. It was a game where the result was decided by a special innings, and that he was the only hero in this game. Yes, Ramandeep did well as a support cast, and as you rightly said, absorbed the pressure up front. But then again, that when Tilak Verma decided to throw the kitchen sink, that was when the game changed.
Absolutely. Tilak Verma, even in the last over, I think that last over took the momentum in MI's innings because as GT has been a very good chasing side since last year. If you check the record, top order
Hmm.
has been doing great. Or even the last two games, if you have seen against LSG, so two games they won chasing. Sneshish, I think they were very confident of chasing another total at their home conditions, and I think below 200 any day. Like in this season, we have seen 200 plus totals being chased easily. And at the halfway mark, even GT must have been confident that yes, we have restricted a strong MI batting lineup to under 200. But did you think that, like Shamikda pointed out, that it was not that pitch where you should have batted second, and it was clearly evident as well. If you look at the last second innings, right from the
Yes.
first second over, you could see the signs of variable bounce from the pitch, and that was
Hmm.
evident, and that made shot making difficult for the batters. And the ball was seeming under lights, it was seeming around. So was it the right decision from the GT's point of view to bowl first on that wicket? Yes, you have chased well in the past. You chased the targets in the last two games as well. But was it the right? You didn't respected the conditions. You didn't assess the conditions well. You just went with the tempo that we chase well.
As you mentioned, Shomikda also pointed out that thing in the pre-match show live that in this particular pitch in last 70-20 the team that batted fast have won the game. So when we were on the live and Shubman Gill won the toss and opted to bowl first, it was quite surprising, especially for Shamikda because he obviously pointed out that stat. But as Gill mentioned that in the last game they chased down that target 181 target against KKR, and it was and there was kind of a due. And he mentioned that thing that there was due in the last game. That is why we're opting to chase, and hopefully there will be due, and it will be easy for us. And as you rightly also pointed out that for the last 1.5 years, if you see the numbers as a chasing team, GT have been one of the top teams, especially considering their informed top three batters because the type of batters they have at those positions, they love to chase. When there's a specific target, they know how to pace the innings. So I think that also suit them. So I think that is why maybe they wanted to go for that approach. But rightly, it turned out to be true that in this particular pitch, you have to back the stats that you have to bat first. Doesn't matter whether you are a very good chasing team or not, because as you mentioned that from the first over itself, after the first over itself, variable bounce, even spinners also bowling well. I think if you see the last over, I know tail enders were batting, but still Allah Gazanpur, the way he was getting some turn and everything turn and grip from that deck. I think it was evident that it was not easy to bat. So I think yes, they did the job in the power play. I think the bowlers took the advantage of those of the deck, and they did the job in the power play and it broke the backbone. And Ashwini Kumar, I think the way he used the bouncers, hit the deck bowler. I think again Shubman Gill from left arm angle, using that angle and bowling that bounce short ball and I think Shubman Gill did it expected a bit faster. I think he thought that the ball would come a bit faster on his bat, but eventually he mistimed and got out. So I think overall, as a unit, Mumbai Indians bowling clicked, as I talked earlier also. But I think for GT, I think it's a huge loss considering the margin. I think it's a big margin to lose. And in a tournament like IPL, when you lost by that kind of a margin, it hit your net run rate a huge blow. I think if you see, you are losing, by 50% of runs. You scored only 100 when your target was 200. So I think it's a huge blow. And after three consecutive wins, I think again they will need to go back to the drawing room and let's talk. Let need to make some changes because again that problem has come out today. When your top three doesn't perform, the middle order is not performing, and this is the problem that they need to address. Whether you need to bring some other players, whether you need to talk someone like Washington Sundar or maybe Glenn Phillips to come up with better performance, because every day you cannot depend on your top three batters. One season it can happen, but not in every season. So I think so it is high time for GT to look after that matter.
Definitely,
Vaibhav,
yes.
Vaibhav or Snehashish, Vaibhav or Snehashish, if you get the comment of Tilak Verma from the post-match presentation to the host broadcaster, just please read that out to our viewers.
Okay, okay.
Definitely, I have that quote. I will just read it out. So, Tilak Verma said, "Of course, the first 100 will be special because it was his first 100, and last 5 games, I hadn't spent much time in the middle, so I wanted to spend time in the middle. I know if I face a few balls, then I know what I can do. I was just seeing the situation, what the team needs. I was staying stable and playing accordingly. It was very important the way Naman played. It was very crucial, and the way we played after that, I think we all are proud of it. So I think he just talked about spending time in the middle and how and highlighted the role of Namandir, because he played the role of that aggressor
Exactly.
at the start of the
Hmm.
innings when he was struggling. So yeah, it look like the words of a confident individual who is very confident about his own abilities. And he the way he celebrated, it was a sign to the
Yeah.
critics that I am not listening like KL Rahul does. A lot of times this happens with KL Rahul.
At the end of
Critics
the day,
always
he is a World Cup winner. He is a World Cup winner. But
exactly
anything from Hardik at the post-match presentation to the host broadcaster about Rohit Sharma's fitness? Anything the captain has said
about.
about
Rohit
Rohit?
Sharma.
About Rohit?
No, I can't see anything on Rohit. Maybe it will come in the post-match press conference.
Because no, because before the Punjab Kings game, Hardik
Yeah, he
said
said 2 games.
2 games. So which means, and he is steadily recovering. Mahela Jayawardena, I attended the press conference after the PBKS game, and Mahela Jayawardena said it is not serious, and obviously it is not serious if it were a tear like Ayush Matre. Now Ayush Matre is ruled out at least for 2 weeks. CSK. At least he is ruled out for at least for 2 weeks, and he will not be playing the game against Mumbai Indians on Thursday. So Chennai Super Kings will have that hole to plug. But if it were serious for Rohit, he wouldn't have doing the running. He wouldn't have batted at the nets. So he's steadily progressing, and there is a feeling that he might be available for the game against CSK on Thursday. He is being assessed on a day-to-day basis. That Mumbai Indians bowling coach Paras Mamre said yesterday at the pre-match press conference, and the medical team is assessing him, and the medical team will take the final call. But there is a feeling that he could be available for the CSK game. But uh, obviously, if Rohit is fit, he walks in. But in that case, what would be Namandir's batting order? Because as long as Surya is there, as long as Surya is there, you have to bat Surya at number 3 or maybe at number 4. You cannot tinker.
Hmm.
You cannot tinker. As long as Surya, irrespective of his form, you cannot drop Surya down the order. So in that case, what would be Namandir's batting position? That is one question, but that will be a happy problem to live with for the MIT management.
Also, it will be interesting to see if Will Jacks will be able to join the squad before the CSK game, which is on 23rd. Because I don't know why. This is a matter of serious concern. We all we can laugh about it, but Lockie Ferguson missing half of the season for Punjab Kings,
Yeah.
and Will Jacks not coming to the. He's spending vacation with his family and doing some. You are injured, that is understandable. You are on paternity
Yeah.
leave, that paternity leave,
Yeah.
that all is understandable, but you have been signed by a franchisee and you're unable to join till now when the team is struggling and they need you. You have been in great form. Look at what
Yeah.
Will Jacks did for England in the T20 World Cup.
England.
So
No,
let's
no,
see.
Vaibhav, no. There is no miscommunication or misunderstanding. I must make it clear to our viewers: there is no miscommunication or misunderstanding between Will Jacks and Mumbai Indians. He asked for an extended leave after the World Cup. I mean, before the start of the IPL, that was extended. I mean, he was granted that extended leave. After that, maybe he picked up a niggle. That's why it got delayed. But what we have been told that he is on his way and he would be joining soon, very likely before the CSK game. Very likely, but there is no official confirmation yet in terms of whether he is joining before the CSK game.
Whenever there will be an update, Shamikda will definitely provide you an update because next game will be played at the Wankhede and he will be there tomorrow. He'll attend the CSK practice session. Focus will be on MS Dhoni, so do watch out the space. So it will be a happy headache for Mumbai Indians ahead of the CSK game if Will Jacks is available. Then Rohit Sharma also comes back and is fit to play that game. But more bowling, I think. Shamikda, you want to say something?
No, no, continue. You continue with more. I will come back later.
Okay. More like this game, my bowling did really well. They, as I said, they made changes. Whether it's Krish Bhagat, Ashwini Kumar taking 4 wickets, and most importantly, not every time you see two frontline spinners playing for Mumbai Indians. They did that today. Allah Ghazan first, Mitchell Sander both played, took 4 wickets between them, were economical. So, is this the bowling attack that? Is this the bowling group that gives confidence? Is this the bowling lineup you will stick with in the coming games as well?
Yeah, we were discussing this in the pre-match show. Had predicted that maybe, I mean, I did not know back then that Rohit Sharma would not be available for sure. So I had predicted that maybe they would play a Mitchell Santner and rest Allah Ghazanfar because they would want one more batting option down the order. But yeah, it was a very interesting change, and also the fact that they trusted their, inexperienced bowlers. We've seen a number of franchisees doing that and getting success, like Sunrisers Hyderabad, for example. They've got success making that change. So I think it is a very good change, giving them the option, giving them the backing of trusting them at this tender age, and obviously they're also talented. Everybody taking the bold calls. For example, you won't see a Trent Bolt in the squad, which is strange because given the experience that he has. But then going by the current form and what each can bring to the table, I think it was a very bold call on the part of the management. And yeah, I do see this lineup going forward. Yes, if there is some injury concern, or if somebody joins and someone has to sit, that's a different topic altogether. But since this particular team has given them the win, and not just a win, a very very commanding win, a very very well knit bowling unit, everyone firing, everyone performing. I just saw, I think apart from Hardik Pandya, everyone's economy was under 5. So everyone was really really effective, picking up wickets at the same time economical. So that was everybody performing as a unit. So going forward, I think they would like to stick to this bowling lineup.
Let's see what happens with the Mumbai ahead of the next game. But now let's shift our focus to GT a bit because Gujarat Titans a heavy defeat as Snehashish also mentioned, and once again they have been exposed. Like they have been top heavy since last season. Yes, last season Josh Butler scored over 500 runs. Shubman Gill had a great season. Sai Sudarshan was the orange cap winner. This season again they started last 2 run chases led by Josh Butler and Shubman Gill. Shubman Gill scoring 350s on the bounce in the last 3 games. But again, today top order collapsed, and then we saw what happened with their middle order. And there is a stat. I was when I was watching the game, there was stat popped up by the host broadcasters. It showed that GT middle order has contributed only 29% of the runs since the start of the last season. And Shamikda, this is the problem for GT since the last year only, and they tried people. Sharfin Rutherford was their best last season. Yes, last season, who the player who was scoring a lot of runs, who was doing the damage for them during the middle overs, they let him go. They retained Glenn Phillips, but now 4, 5, 6, Glenn Phillips, Shah Rukh Khan, Washington Sundar. This middle order has once again has been exposed, and this will be a worry going ahead as well.
Yeah, Vaibhav, we will look at the middle order. This middle order has quality. Glenn Phillips, Shah Rukh Khan, even up to Rashid Khan, there is batting. They can bring on Rahul Teotia as an impact sub. So it is not that it doesn't have quality, but collectively it's not clicking. That is the problem. So it is down to the top three, and that is that is the biggest problem for Gujarat Titans. The day they will fire, it's great, but then on occasions the top order will fall cheaply. I mean, the middle order so far. Once again, Washington Sundar flattered to deceive. He started up very well. Washington Sundar, and the way he was playing, I thought it is your time. This is your moment, boy. Come on. I mean, but once again, he flattered to deceive. So all said and done, this is not. I mean, Glenn Phillips is a very good cricketer. Every day he saves 15 to 20 runs on in the field, but he will have to contribute in the bat as well. So that is, yes, that is uh, especially that middle order, and if the middle order collectively fails, it becomes very lopsided in the sense that everything will have to be done by the top order, and they have very little margin for error. And this game was a classic case. I mean, once the top order collapsed and there was no resistance from the middle order, they will have to strike the right balance. Maybe this game will prompt them, because they came into this game on the heels of 3 wins on the spin. So here they have suffered they have got hammered on their own patch. It's a huge margin. 99 runs is a huge margin, and their net run rate has also taken a hit. Maybe this will prompt them to think differently.
Uh, if I may add
Yeah,
something
yeah, yeah,
about the
yeah.
middle
Of
order,
course.
yeah. Basically, this is not it's not a pattern that I've been observing this year, but previous year as well. Yes, the top three was very consistent, but then in the eliminator, when the three of them failed to perform against this very team itself, I mean, nobody was able to win the game for GT. So I think. The middle order is a big concern, and yeah, I mean, you can't be dependent on your top three all the time. Even if one of them bats deep, it is natural for the three of them to fail at one point of time. So there has to be a proper balance. I was suggesting a few changes, I mean, before this game as well. I mean, I did not know if they would be going with any changes, because obviously they had won two, it was a winning combination. But then I was constantly suggesting for a Kumar Kushagra to come in, because he is a good hitter of the ball, he has done well in domestics. So him, or probably, I mean, obviously, I know these are all experienced players, the management, everybody, they're backing them. But if a Jason Holder could also be slotted in, so that it, I mean, you have batting down the order, then you have a ball option, you have a batting option as well. I mean, for sure, Glenn Phillips is a great talent. He's been doing extremely well on the field, but also his main role is as a batter. And we have not seen that as of now. I mean, it's been too many games. So I don't know. I mean, I think some bold calls need to be taken regarding the combination. They have to decide on a proper playing 11.
I
That's
think
fine.
Shubman Gill can follow the Hardik Pandya template, that we need to take some board calls in the next game and make some changes in the middle over, because more was being about Glenn Phillips and his role. There's a question asked by Saurav Kumar: does Glenn Phillips play as a specialist fielder? Snehashish?
Yes. See, I know that why this question has come up. See, as of now, if you see his stats as a batter, I know that is why you might be asking that maybe as a specialist fielder he is playing. But you have to understand that whatever names that we have been taking in for the middle order of GT, if you think of a top T20 side, you will not want to see this kind of name in your middle order, right? Not someone like Washington Sundar, not someone like Rahul Tewati. I think Rahul Tewati has surpassed his price. I think he cannot win you single-handed the game right now.
Dehashish,
I think
Shah Rukh Khan. With
yeah,
all due respect to him, he has
I'm
not
going
been a
into
match winner either.
exactly. Shah Rukh Khan is kind of a same story of Ramandeep Singh for KKR. I think you can hardly find, I think, one or two contribution of Shah Rukh Khan for the last 2 or 3 years in IPL. I think he has got enough chances in IPL, but you can hardly remember one or two knocks where Shah Rukh Khan single-handedly has changed the momentum for the game for his team. So I think if you see this name, these names are very inconsistent when it comes to finishing the games, when it comes to contribution, and for over the last 2 years, still the way GT putting faith on them, I think they are quite lucky, but somehow they are not being able to repeat that faith. Again, to if you see today, it was a great opportunity for someone like Shah Rukh Khan, for someone like Rahul Tewati. I am not asking that you go out there win the game for the team. At least try to minimize the gap. At least if they could have scored a quick fire 50, 60 runs, this 99 margin could have been ended in a 30 or 25 run margin. That could have helped the team in a long run in a tournament like IPL. But again, they failed. So I think in the context of current modern T20 batting in a modern T20 setup, you don't want this kind of name in a particular team in middle order. I think, as more suggested, I think Jason Holder can be an option, but again, an overseas option, that's a different headache for a team. how you can include one. And Kumar Kushagara, I think one match where Gill didn't play, I think Kumar Kushagara got one chance. Yeah, but again the problem is Kumar Kushagara. I think he only bats at the top. It's very difficult, I think, for him to bat in the middle order. I think that is might be a one reason that I think there will be a little bit of hesitation of including him in the middle order. But still, if you really want to make some changes, I think it's high time to make some bold call, because without a proper middle order, without proper middle order contribution, it is very hard for any team to do well in a tournament like IPL.
Definitely,
Yeah,
and
and I mean, I think the management is aware of this. Even last match, even though they won, Shubman Gill batted. I mean, he scored an 86. He was not
Yeah.
happy with the win. At the post-match presentation, he said that I should have stayed till the end, or we should have finished the match much earlier.
I,
It went till the last over. It shouldn't have gone till
Hmm.
the last over. So I think they are aware of it. Just a proper execution is needed of what they want to do.
yeah, I think the playing 11 can be sorted, and that's the problem for GT to be solved for the next game. But yeah, today it's MI fans will be celebrating, and on that note, we'll take your leave. Thank you, Ashish Moore and Shamik Da, for joining, and we'll be back with more updates and news. So do keep an eye on Revsports. Thank you for watching.